Schools don't teach you how to learn. Timing play a huge role in success. You feel like everything you touch turns to gold, and you're thinking that business is going to be over. There is definitely luck involved. You can feel different. This tastes sweet.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our next podcast episode, The Human Appetite. Reinis, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Likewise. Good to be here.
First of all, before we go into your business, your journey, what do you do and who are you, I will introduce to you who we are and what's kind of our mission, our goal. I would, in simple terms, we want to change the way a people or a human experiences healthy eating by making healthy food or drinks taste sweeter, better, much more enjoyable. Mm-hmm. So I think that's pretty simple. So for everyone who wants to live kind of the healthy lifestyle or who is on his way to eat healthy foods, we just want to make this step much more enjoyable. And that is why I created for you a healthy drink. There's celery, fennel, lemon, and water. It will not taste good before that, so I want to give you the chance to go through the Santom journey together with me. Today's goal kind of is to go through your journey as well. It's also my first time speaking to you today. Yeah. So we'll go speak about your business, what do you do, numbers, etc., and then we're gonna go through the human journey.
Sounds good. This feels a little bit like the hot ones.
It's like there's a similar podcast, Hot Wings.
Yeah,
that is exactly. Yeah. So similarities. All right, let's start. Before we go into your kind of business, let's take one tablet.
Okay.
No. Let's drink it.
Let's drink it first. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
What does it taste like?
It tastes like you all the ingredients you mentioned, you feel them. You feel the lemon, but like the celery is the taste I don't particularly like.
Nobody likes it, especially
fair.
Raw.
That's fair. Yeah.
Well, let's take just one tablet, and like I said, you can break it in half. Let it dissolve on your tongue, and In the meantime, feel free to introduce. Let's just wait a little bit. It's going to be hard to speak. You will feel that after 10-15 seconds, the tablet becomes naturally sweet, like a berry. Just feel free to break it once more again into the halves.
Yeah, I saw it. It's got.
Is it your first time?
Miracle berry tablets.
Exactly. Is it your first time?
Yeah. I've heard about a similar product like this before.
Where?
I've never tried it. I've heard about the concept of a product that.
It's 20 years on the market already.
Yeah.
So not here in the Baltics, but in America and Asia. It's been there for 20 years. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Perfect. First question. Just introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? Your short backend story.
Yeah. So my name is Reinis. I'm the co-founder of AgencyJR. It's an email marketing agency I've been running for the past roughly 5 years at the moment. We work with e-commerce brands, basically fire them from thinking and worrying about emails and run their email marketing. So if you've ever bought anything online and you get emails trying to sell you more stuff, we're the ones building and sending those emails out. So that's a little bit of a background on what we do. And a little bit of a background about me. I started my entrepreneurship journey when I was roughly 13, probably even earlier than that, because every time I revisit my beginnings, I uncover new layers to things I even forgot about. Like when I was in probably the second or first grade, I saw a neighbor of mine go fishing, and then I went into the garden and I dug up a bunch of, how do you call them in English, a bunch of worms to sell to him, and I basically printed out flyers that would put into the mailboxes of all our neighbors with a subscription to get the
Even
worms.
subscription.
Yeah, everything. I didn't make much money from that, but that was like my first business venture. And afterwards, I went to graphic design for Call of Duty sniping clans. Super niche thing, like, Call of Duty, and you're a kid, you love that stuff, and if you're able to make money with it, that was amazing. And I also mowed lawns for our neighbors and a couple of friends of my father. So that's initially how I wanted to make money, and obviously I had motivation to do so. I wanted to buy an iPhone 6 at the time, and my parents wouldn't buy me one. So I had to earn it on my own. I had to go out, figure out how to make money, because businesses wouldn't hire me. And then I realized that, like as a child, even like 5 years old, I grew up with a single mother and my grandmother, and we weren't rich or well off. I would say we're doing okay. But then my stepfather, he was the one who actually owned the business, and I figured out you don't have to work for somebody to make money. You can build your own business to make money. And ever since I tried, which I eventually ended up in the agency space. That's like the long story cut short. So yeah, that's a little bit of a backstory there, from selling worms, graphic design, mowing lawns, and then building an agency for paid ads, pivoting, changing directions, and going into email marketing.
Amazing. Well, we'll go also into your journey, like how you started, where you grew up, a bit later. But first of all, I thought when I asked you who are you and what do you do, I saw I think it was a podcast of you 2 years ago in English language,
Yeah.
and I was so sure you were gonna say I'm a porn star.
When you told me that, the podcast, I know what you're talking about. I used to say that stuff at events. It worked well, but I would say right now I'm a bit more, a bit more calm. I'm not as crazy as I was back then.
No, just kidding. But it would have been good. Anyways, let's just talk a bit about your business. How does it taste, first of all? Do you feel the difference?
Yeah. You can feel the difference for sure. This tastes sweet.
Sweeter, right?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Not even sweeter, just sweet.
Just sweet.
Yeah, but you can still like taste a little bit of celery.
Yeah.
At the end.
And
aftertaste.
Additional note to that is that the TasteCare overall doesn't taste the original taste, right? It doesn't, make celery taste like a candy or whatever. It just makes overall the ingredients or the food just taste sweeter, better. So
I think just pure lemon juice would just taste
you
amazing.
need to try it. You need to try it. So sweet, actually.
It's good. That's good.
Anyways, let's talk about your business before you go into your kind of deeper your past. What's so your agency? You'll run email marketing. In other words, you help businesses get money, additional revenue from the emails.
Yes,
right.
Correct.
Just if you explain to a 5-year-old, how many team members do you have?
At the moment, the team is around 15, 17 people.
Oh, that's quite a lot.
At one point we were 50.
50.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But that was with I would say a lot of contractors. Not everyone was
outsourced,
full time. Yeah. And that was during a time when we were working with a bunch of different languages in Europe. And we had clients who sold to basically almost every single country in Europe. And we just needed translators locally from all of those countries to translate the emails. Otherwise, we couldn't fulfill our service.
Yeah. Right now, you have like what, AI to do that?
Yeah. Actually, AI translates quite well. We eliminated most of the translators, and we tell this to our clients as well that we don't work with translators or native copywriters per se. And it's just all English to the new language.
Exactly, especially to the biggest languages, for example, German, right? I think it does just a fantastic job. Well, Latvian, I'm not too sure about the Latvian language. Maybe you need to train it in order to like copyright it. What do you think?
We rarely write in Latvian, so I haven't tested English to Latvian copy at all.
So your primary clients are US based, Europe, UK?
I would say about half of them is US and the other half is EU based, or selling in EU and US basically.
Yeah. All right. Do you have like team members that are based in? Since you live in Latvia, right? Are there team members that are based here in Latvia as well, or
No.
why?
So when I was in high school, there would be classmates that we would make deals with. They would be contractors, and we would train them on the skill of email marketing. Now that worked well up until the point when we exploded. This was, if I remember correctly, Q4 of 2021. You've probably heard the story on different podcasts. When me and my business partner, we had 24-hour shifts. Basically, I would wake up at 6 a.m. and work until midnight. He would wake up at around like 10 or midnight and work until the morning. And we just had like a huge influx of clients that we managed on our own. I believe me and my business partner, us alone, managed probably around like 14 clients. I don't know the exact number by heart at the moment, but we had a good amount of clients that we personally managed. Plus, we had back then probably a team of around like 4 or 5 people, and we needed to expand our team. Unfortunately, in Latvia, we don't have many email agencies or email agencies that are good, so the talent pool isn't great. And so we resorted to headhunting from other agencies, which most of which are based outside of Latvia. And right now we have talent from different countries, even Asia, Europe. We used to have US, not at the moment from the US, Spain, so on and so forth. So
The biggest few countries as well as Asia. All right.
yeah, and like for example, in Asia, we had a couple of team members from Philippines. At the moment, we have one that we recently promoted, and we headhunted them from an agency that's located in Singapore. And in Europe, we headhunted employees from UK, a company that's based in Lithuania, but the founder, I think they're Bosnian or somewhere from the Balkans. And yeah, so
It's like your company is based in Estonia or whatever, and you live in
yeah,
Asia
yeah,
or
yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
All right, so you currently have a company of 15 people approximately, 15 to 17. You have a co-founder as well, your business partner.
Yes, Jacob.
What's his
Jacob.
name? Jacob. All right,
Jakobs
nice.
in Latvian.
Jacobs. Amazing name. Are you 50-50? So you both started it together
Yes,
at the same time?
Yeah, so the story was this: before the email agency, I had another business. I got basically good at cold calling, and I helped other agency owners acquire customers with cold calls, train them in cold calling, etc., etc. So I needed appointment setters, and I found Jacob, who had followed my Instagram page because I used to be a fitness influencer.
Reinis Fit?
Yeah, exactly. And he was into fitness as well. He followed me. And then he applied for the job, and I saw that he was quite driven. In my mind, I thought that he's gonna be rich. I'd rather be rich together than us building separate ventures. So we partnered up, and yeah, it's just quite rare to see somebody who is that driven and dedicated. Because I've seen people who say they want to be successful, or they want to make money, or they want to achieve X, Y, Z, but their actions rarely
speak for themselves.
Yeah, what they do versus what they want does not match.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like actually that is one of my biggest fears as well. You have so many ideas, so many dreams, or whatever, and you say to yourself, I don't know, to your family or whatever, to yourself that hey, you will have this, you will do that and this, and then like 2-3 years later, you continue to say the same thing, right? So it's like a never-ending loophole, right? But all right, in terms of revenue, what's the revenue in 2025 or 2025? Yeah, last year.
Revenue it's around €1 million in sales. I think like 1.1 if I remember correctly.
Amazing. And I think also it's not like, I don't know, selling a product or whatever where you have these manufacturing costs, etc.
Yeah, you have different costs, different types of businesses that have different costs. But I do want to say probably our peak year was 2023 or 2022. Then we made $1 million profit. Yeah, when I remember when I turned 20, I had a net worth on paper of $1 million.
And you're 24 now.
25.
25 already.
I turned 25 exactly 6 days ago.
Ah, happy birthday, first of all.
Thank you.
25,
thank you.
coming slowly to 30.
Yeah, but it's just that 2021, 2022, COVID years, everything exploded in e-com, and it's something that I've noticed right now. Business goes through cycles. That was a really good cycle. Everybody was making money. E-commerce was super easy for everybody. And right now we're in a different era where a lot more people are facing challenges. And it's harder to be profitable, harder to remain profitable, harder to start the business. And with that, we have had struggles as well. I would say we didn't play our cards right entirely throughout the years, which made us maybe not grow as fast as we did. But I would say right now, compared to our peak month when we made peak year when we made the most amount of money, last year I worked the least out of all the years, and we had a pretty stable business. So that's also taken into consideration. Now with more time, I can work on the business, and I've been like over the last year, I was able to fix what I believe to be a lot of issues we had.
For example,
just stuff in terms of service delivery that we could be doing better, basically.
In-house.
Yeah, processes and stuff like that, and really over the last year we kind of almost swapped the entire team because we wanted to change the culture and the direction the company was going in. So yeah, that's a little bit of an overview there.
And how does 2026 will look like? Your thoughts in terms of revenue as well?
Well, obviously we'll see. I would say 2026 for me, I think it depends on how well we land partnerships this year. Because we want to build partnerships with different school communities, and I'll see how good or bad I'm at networking again, because I probably over the past 2 years I didn't go to as many events as I used to previously, which has lowered my networking skills. Looking back, the reason why I'm talking about it is because looking back, we looked at the ROI of going to a bunch of events, and directly if you spend, let's say, me and my business partner, you buy tickets, you fly, an event might cost, depending on which one, it might cost anywhere from like 3 to 10K.
Or even more.
Yeah. Those are the events we would go to. They're usually like 3 to 10K without like a booth or anything. And directly from the event, you wouldn't necessarily get the clients, but it's not so much about getting direct ROI from those events. It's more about staying top of mind of your potential customers and just people in the industry in general. So they remember you, and if they want to do email marketing, they go to work with you instead of someone else. Yeah, that's a little bit of a background there. And obviously living in Latvia compared to different idea I had in my mind was I was considering moving to a different country, even Dubai, just because our business is quite relationship based. And compared to when we started to right now, there's a lot more competition. And if you're an e-commerce business, you're looking for email marketing, even though you might know me and you might talk to me through social media or online, if you've been on a dinner or a lunch with another email marketer locally where you're at, you've built more trust with them. And so that's another element I've looked into. So I believe like in order for us to grow, we need to lock in a lot more relationships. We need to, again, like systematization and processes we built last year. That's been great. They've improved the service delivery. We're working on a lot more now. We changed the values and solidified the values of our company earlier this year. And I just had a workshop I did 2 days ago to help train the team, and we're going to continue to do those. So yeah, that's kind of like a wide response to what's 2026 going to look like.
It's like I always say as an example, you are making ordering kitchen, scaling scaling hectic kitchen, right? Just more chaos.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean by word kitchen, systems, processes, team, automations, right? That's the kind of kitchen, internal company stuff. If you are not, have found solutions for these problems, and you want to, to scale, to go to more networks, more, ads, for example, to get clients, right, or whatever the kind of marketing is, even cold calls. I think, in long term, it's just gonna make more chaos. So good stuff. All right. You are very well experienced in email marketing. If there's a company who's, I don't know, I imagine you also help companies, right? Help brands, e-commerce brands go from, I don't know, 50K to like what, 200, 150? What's the number? And
So
maybe a little bit background on there. Like, do you take all the clients also who are making, I don't know, 500 euros a month?
So when you look at, we primarily work with e-commerce brands, and even if you're software or you're an info product business, email marketing is a channel for you to generate the revenue from existing customers. Even if you looked at your current finances of your business, you would see that every day you had spikes of increased sales from returning customers. You probably sent out an email. So what we've seen, if you're under 30K a month, don't even touch email marketing. Your only focus should be finding product market fit and making ads work. 50K a month, that's when we would start to consider building automations for you. Again, just depends on the business, because 50K a month still you need to solidify your business, especially in e-commerce, where 50K a month might be 10K a month profit, and after ordering inventory, like really your net free cash flow might be like 1 to 3K. Which again is not as stable to have a strong balance sheet for the business and for the business to be strong long term. So I'd say the sweet spot for us usually with the businesses we work with is around that 250 to $1 million a month mark, roughly there. We do struggle working with brands that are over $1 million a month at the moment, just because a board of directors gets involved. The business dynamic is different. It's just not an environment we're comfortable working with at the moment. So that's why 250K to 1 million a month roughly is like the clientele we work with. But yeah, like a lot of people who are new to ecom, they look at the emails and they think of like email spamming from like 1990s, when you would just scrape a bunch of emails, send them offers, and,
it's like
get them to buy.
Inbox, in Latvia, and like 100 emails just pretty much spam.
Yeah, exactly. That's not how you should look at email marketing. You should look at email marketing as a way to get existing customers to come back and buy again. So that's what the channel is for. So email can grow the business, but it's capped at your current business's scale. Whereas paid ads, it's something that can help you acquire new customers and get your product in front of new eyes. We actually own the stake in a paid ads agency. We exited that stake this year, started this year.
Congrats.
Owned 20%. We sold everything back to the founder. We were involved for about 2 or 3 years, if I remember correctly.
Why? Why you exited?
Because we weren't as hands-on anymore. Yeah, so that was the original deal. We would help build systems, help acquire clients. That's what we did. We were together for a certain amount of time. We made good money for the agency and the business owner. We made good money for ourselves. That's what the deal was. That if he felt like we weren't adding enough value, we don't want to hold each other hostage, and he would buy out our shares. So yeah.
Let's assume there's a, I don't know, let's say a brand doing 50K a month, like you said, and they are looking to start email marketing. Let's just assume they go into this topic, and the founder finally says, "All right, now's the time. Now's the time to jump into the game." Based from your experiences, what is the kind of what drives the scale, especially in terms of email marketing to the brand? Is it product? Is it the value, price that determines it, or is it?
Yeah. So as I mentioned previously, email is a channel that's meant to acquire and to engage existing customers. And obviously, it's one of the most profitable marketing channels for any business to own. Generally speaking, if you get a sale from email marketing, your only expense is going to be your product cost. And for example, the cost to reach 100,000 people on email is going to be the same cost as you would pay to reach 10,000 people in Scandinavia with paid ads. Roughly. It again depends on the industry. It might be fewer people with paid ads or a little bit more, but roughly you get like 10 times more impressions with emails. If someone is looking to get started with emails around the 50K a month mark, your first focus should be building out email automations. That's because I'm looking at every single action you take in a business as whether it's to what level it's logical versus to what level it's not logical, and also what's the ROI of this action. Email automations are going to help your paid ads become more profitable. They're going to help convert more abandoned checkouts, set the expectations for people who've placed an order so they come back and buy again, etc., etc. So I would start with email automations. Core automations, if you want to do them on your own, build a abandoned checkout, build a thank you flow, and build a welcome flow. These are the core ones you can build yourself. There's obviously others: browse abandonment, site abandonment, win back, sunset flow. Those are all great, but I would focus on the core ones because these ones are going to make the most amount of money. And if you don't have any email experience, it'll be better for you to focus on those ones rather than everything else. And obviously, like I do have YouTube videos on setting up each one of these flows. Each one of these flows or automations yourself with templates you can use. So it's good enough to copy and paste those right from the bat. But you asked about what impacts the results of emails. I would say first two most important ones. Large stuff that's I'm gonna talk about things in email marketing themselves and like what you can control versus what email can't control. Obviously, email you can control your subject line, your preview text, which is basically when you get an email, what's the text you see there. Email design, email copy. You can control your customer research, like how well do you understand your customer, why they're buying the products, what are their concerns, how to handle these concerns, how well you ideate and come up with angles to convert people. Those are like the main elements you can focus on email marketing to drive more sales from the email itself. Outside of that, obviously, product and brand are huge pillars and huge movers of sales that influence email marketing sales. If you have great brand equity, like if Apple sent out an email tomorrow with no call to action, nothing, it was just an image of an iPhone and that's it, they would generate a ton of sales just because of the brand equity behind their brand.
Brand positioning over like, I don't know, 30 or 20 years plus 20 years.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Whereas if I built a new brand, got an email list from like customers that maybe bought the product day one and I sent out an email, I would probably make no sales. Just because, well, number one, the email list is going to be much smaller, obviously. And number two, there's not enough brand equity from me. Obviously, you can manufacture brand equity and manufacture desire and urgency through copywriting. That's what I focus on a lot. But if you've got a good brand, if people trust you, you can have the worst emails in the world and people are still going to buy. Product is another pillar. It makes a lot of sense if in e-commerce, e-com in general is quite easy to copy copy other stores, their store layouts, but you can't necessarily copy product. You can to some extent if you don't have a patent and if you're generically dropshipping, then your product can be copied and you have no real competitive edge besides maybe marketing skills and marketing arbitrage on acquiring customers more efficiently or building creatives that are better than the competition. But fundamentally, if you've got great products that solve problems other brands can't solve, you're going to have a competitive edge. For example, douche bags. DB bags, they have a skiing bag that's high quality, that's that my parents and my sisters use as well, and I tried it. I put it in my bag. That's the best skiing bag I've ever tried. Usually skiing bags are super flimsy. They don't protect your skis. That one is bolstered. Its design is much nicer of the bag itself. Quality, the feel, look, everything is much nicer. And if I had to choose a bag to buy, that would be in my consideration just because the product is superior. Obviously, different product launches. If you're sending, let's say, 3 email campaigns every single week, if you do a product launch, you're going to drive more sales. But that's just because it's a product that your customers haven't seen before. It's something new, something novel. More people want to try it. And this is quite prominent even in like the weight loss industry. Like 2 industries where this is super prominent: weight loss, info products. Usually weight loss has info products. And if you've seen different diets weight loss has had, you had, if it fits your macros. If you remember way back, there was a YouTube channel called Six Pack Shortcuts. They had a YouTube ad of a ripped Asian guy eating pizza, eating junk food, and talking about how I'm able to eat this food because like in this 3-hour window, my calories are burned faster, da 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 da. They talk about the anabolic window. They talk about these different unique mechanisms, and they're able to build a narrative around that. Later, it's the keto diet. Then it's the carnivore diet. It's basically different diets, different ways to help people lose fat. Because the people who tried keto and didn't lose weight, well, they think keto doesn't work. So then they see carnivore diet and think, okay, carnivore is going to help me lose weight. And then ultimately Ozempic shows up and then you just use Ozempic to lose weight. So it's stuff like that, right? So, and then with Ozempic, people realize, oh, it's got so many bad side effects. Now there's retadutride as a peptide, for example, from a pharmacology standpoint. But still, it's the weight loss niche. Yeah, like a lot of people, they're interested in novelty and what info products, especially make money online info products, and even as I mentioned, weight loss info products, they use to drive sales is the novelty element. If you look at Imangaji, if you look at any like large info marketer, they usually change courses every 6 months because initially there's a course about dropshipping. People try dropshipping, some were successful, some were not. They're like, dropshipping doesn't work. Then it's like a new one. Dropshipping is dead. Facebook ads are too expensive. You need to do dropshipping through Facebook Marketplace. It's a unique arbitrage opportunity. It's something new. People try it. Some people are successful. Some people aren't. The ones who aren't usually try to jump ship to something else. Then it's Amazon FBA. Then it's building an agency. Then it's this. Then it's that. Then it's that. It's just again, people are looking for novelty, and you're able to use different angles to show why this didn't work, but this works. Even, for example, for collagen. You can talk about your formulation, how collagen isn't absorbed fully by the body, except if it has a certain amount of vitamin A or vitamin C, I forgot by heart. But you do need to have a good blend of certain amount of vitamins for it to be absorbed. And if you don't have that, it's not going to be absorbed. So yeah. A little bit of a yap about product.
Yeah, well, I would say, I think novelty does play a big role, especially, for example, for us. Maybe it's a step, kind of how we like to, a step for us to communicate better, faster, and easier, right? Because it's something new. But overall, if we go back to email marketing and what makes it successful, to kind of give a summary about it, it's like you can have a good product, right? You can have a good price, but if nobody knows you, right? Or you don't have a strong brand
If
position.
you don't have an email list.
Yeah, if you
in the
don't,
first
or even an email list, then
Yeah.
Sending emails won't make you generate, I don't know, X amount of revenue, right? So,
Yeah, exactly.
all right, so
Exactly.
um,
That's from like a high level overview. Oh, by the way, side note, the tablet wore off. I was curious for how long it.
yeah, the tablet, by the way, we'll drink it right now and drink it.
Yeah.
And what does it taste now?
I tried it recently. It's not all the way to like
It's a-
the original taste, but it's in
Exactly.
the middle. I can separate the lemon out as I drink it.
Exactly. The effect lasts actively 30 minutes. So I think we are about 30 minutes. Yeah. Until 60 minutes. So after 60 minutes, it wears completely off. Depends on what you eat or drink or
Yeah.
even consume. But like I said, I want to give kind of, there are 3 ingredients in it before we go into the next chapter. There's fennel, there is celery, and there is lime. And I will just read one interesting fact about fennel, if you didn't know, or maybe for the audience as well. I will read it out. Fennel is known for helping with bloating and digestion, supports digestion. Maybe you heard it. Simple explanation, it helps your stomach break food down more comfortably and reduces gas. Real life example, if you ever eaten a big meal or felt heavy or uncomfortable, fennel is the type of ingredient that helps calm that feeling. Amazing. Right?
Yeah.
For
To me, my
those-
mind went to a copywriting prompt, and that would be asking
Yeah.
Gemini to
Exactly.
get funny but embarrassing stories about bloating stomach or a gassy stomach, and use that to then sell, for example.
Give one subject now based on this info. Give from your experience a title that you would put into the email. If we would like, let's say, make a sale or educate our consumers in terms of fennel.
Yeah, I mean, this really depends on the target audience, what they respond to, what they don't respond to. But it'll probably have to do something with an embarrassing situation and a gassy stomach. Even something simple like
I think
if you have smelly farts, you need to read this.
Exactly.
Or like it's a simple subject line, but again, this is a topic I didn't necessarily dive into that much. But like everything in copy, everything in email is going to depend on your customer. How you're gonna talk to a teenager versus a 50-year-old man or a 50-year-old woman is going to change. How you talk to a 50-year-old man, you can make the smelly fart joke. Maybe to a woman as well. It really depends on the audience.
Exactly.
Well.
It's I think it's the same thing with ads as well. You know, it depends who you're
Of
making
course,
this
yeah,
ad
of
for.
course.
Do you make it for a teen, for a lady, for a man, right? The age difference, the problem difference, or whatever,
Yeah,
right? For
exactly.
example, if your audience are maybe teens with acne, right?
Yeah.
You would logically put a teen with acne in the ad. You know, so something that's relatable.
Yeah.
One last question from my side. For example, if there's a brand or a e-commerce brand or I don't know, info product brand, whatever, and he just started doing, let's say, I don't know, e-commerce stuff or whatever, and he has grown his subscribers or his profile, list of 500 people. Is it good? Is it a good timing for him to kind of start it, or no? Or you would say like, hey, no, you need to wait until you have a 5,000 list, or do you start even like these small, let's say, simple founder style emails to send like even if you have 3, 4, 500?
Yeah. Personally, I wouldn't touch doing email marketing unless I reach 30K a month in sales. Yeah, that would be my rule of thumb. Now, this doesn't mean you shouldn't do emails. It depends on, it really depends on what you're trying to do. If you've got the list of 500, you might be able to make $20 here and there or $50 here and there from an email. which, for example, for teens might be helpful. It can help fund a next set of ads and whatnot, etc., etc. It's better than nothing. But my full focus, and like, you can do emails, you can focus on it slightly. My main focus would be on customer acquisition fully. Because if you're at 500 email subscribers, that means you probably have around from Shopify around 100 orders, maybe even less, right? So I would focus on just driving sales, because that's number one. That's where you're going to make the most amount of money, where you're going to have the most amount of impact, and the more important skill for you to have in order for you to go from zero to that, for example, 30K a month or 50K a month. Because again, as I mentioned, email is going to be capped to your total revenue. It's not going to be something that helps you go from 10K to 50K a month. It's going to be something that helps you go from 50 to 75, or 50 to 65, 50 to 70. Like, it's going to have a marginal increase. But if you want to go from 50 to 250, you do need a paid ads element in there. And that's what your primary focus should be. It's one of the funny things that I almost always mention. Nobody ever wakes up thinking about email. They think about paid ads, which is true. And that's for a reason. I'm not downplaying emails. That's not my goal here. I'm just being super realistic, and I don't want people to have the wrong assumptions about emails as what I've seen. It is a powerful channel. It's a super profitable channel. You just need to use it once you've got an audience to actually email,
Exactly, yeah. You scale, and from there you kind of go into this niche.
You run paid ads and influencers to acquire customers, and then you use emails to make those customers more profitable, get those customers to buy again and again and again, and that's how you scale profitably.
Yeah, I think that's true, because if you try to do it all at once, you kind of play around in the same room. I would even say you just do stuff that doesn't bring you yet the result.
Yeah.
All right, Reinis, and your surname is Reinis Krumins, right? In English, Reinis Krumins. How do you pronounce it even?
So it used to be Krumins, now it's Sembergs.
Why?
Yeah, I changed it to my stepfather's surname.
So you're now Sembergs.
Sembergs, yeah. I still haven't changed it everywhere on social media. It's still like the old one.
Maybe that's how they recognize you.
Yeah, so I didn't originally change it because I didn't want people to find stuff associated to my name, like companies and whatnot. But now it's it doesn't matter that much if people find it or they don't. You can still find my surname there. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I didn't like go out there and change everything right away.
Yeah, well, maybe you don't even need it, because maybe that's one thing how they recognize you. It's the Krumins guy from Latvia. Anyways,
I think Krumins is quite difficult to pronounce in English, so they just go with Reinis.
Reinis, yeah. Reinis is pretty simple. Yeah. All right, so you're 25 years old. At 20, you made your first million in profit.
The business made.
The business made. Not you, the business made.
I got 20 million on paper. That means if we sold the company, we exit everything, I split 50 with my partner, I would get $1 million. Yeah.
Amazing. You do email marketing. You are more like 1.1 million in revenue. I assume it didn't happen in a single day, right? It wasn't like the next day you woke up and you said to yourself, hey, let's do email marketing. It all started summer. Maybe you could give like your short story if you go way back to the past, where you grow up, and what kind of child you were.
Yeah. So I touched upon this a little bit at the start of the podcast. Really, when I was 5 years old or 6, 7 years old, I can't pinpoint the exact age. I remember being at my countryside home, looking at the TV and seeing TV shows and movies in the US with huge skyscrapers, with people in suits, people making a lot of money driving Ferrari school cars, and I thought to myself, I want to be that guy one day. And originally I thought to get there, I would need to become a lawyer, I would need to study XYZ. And that was my aspiration. Later, as I mentioned before, my mother, my grandmother, they were the ones who raised me. Um, and my mother met my now stepfather, Gunther's. And I remember first time I drove to his house. His house was like, to me it was just wow, like you're living in an amazing location with a great house. And I asked my mother like, oh, like who does he work for? And she said that he has his own business. That's when it clicked to me that, oh, you can make your own, because to me businesses was just like something mythical. You have a huge corporation, and I didn't understand how money works, how anything there works. You just work there, they pay you, and whatever. But then I understood, oh, you can make your own business. Then I started asking myself, how? How can you do it?
And you were like 7 years old, or
Probably a little bit
or
like this. This is like from the age of like 5 to like age of 9, 10,
pretty
right?
young.
Yeah, yeah. It was young. I would probably say I didn't understand anything. To me, it was just, oh, build business, make money. Yes, it's super simple. But then later, I was just watching YouTube videos trying to see how you can make money as a teen, literally from YouTube. I wanted to make money with Minecraft videos, filming those, uploading them to YouTube. Later, as I mentioned, mowing lawns, graphic design, and then it later went into um, my fitness journey. So around the age of 12, I got kind of chubby. So then around the age of 13, 14, around the age of 13, I lost my weight. And I decided like, hey, I might as well just document this journey. Maybe I might become viral, and I might make money from doing fitness stuff because I really loved it. And so I made this YouTube channel and Instagram called Reinis Fit. I posted content about fitness, and um, this is when I'm like 15, 16. This is 2016, 2017. I got around 15,000 followers on Instagram. And I saw the guy, Gary Vaynerchuk, and then I was actually in a fitness community with him and Gaji, who then later started to build, like he's built his own agency. And I saw him build an agency. I saw Gary Vaynerchuk build Vayner Media. And that inspired me to try something similar here in Latvia. Now, unfortunately, back then, I'm 17 years old. I'm trying to talk to people in the business world. No one takes you seriously. No one cares about social media. Now, you see different influencers in Latvia trying to make businesses through just pure TikTok or something like that. You can make money with now, but back then, nobody would pay you more than like $350, maybe $750 a month, and you'd be king in Latvia there back then. But I was super early to that trend, and that made me pivot. I tried to get clients from the US and UK. I did build a network there, just the same way I did when building my fitness influencer career. I was just DMing people, having conversations, joining group chats with other like-minded individuals. And so, fast forward, I met a guy in California who had an e-commerce brand, and he needed help with emails. I didn't know how to do emails. I had experience with copywriting. I told him yes, I would do it. I just named him a price that was just pure commission on what I made. And fast forward, basically I was making like 1 to 2K a month from email marketing, and to me that was like pretty cool for
17, right? Or
yeah,
something
yeah.
like
Like
that.
at 17, I did have, I think at 16 or 17, with the cold calling stuff I mentioned, I did make 10K in 1 month. Um, like yeah, with selling like the cold call script and cold call training. And there's a guy right now called Philip Isberg. He in Scandinavia, he teaches people how to build e-com stores, and he's got a couple of he's the guy who basically brought e-commerce to Scandinavia.
Yeah.
I helped him make his first 10K a month with the cold call, with my cold calling scripts and
At
cold calling
17.
training. Yeah. I was 17 then. I think he was 20
Crazy.
then. Yeah, yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. That's a little bit of lore that I went to his wedding 2 years ago, and it's just like a cool memory. Anyways, so met a guy in the US. He needed emails. We built emails, and then we started getting referrals. From referrals, one referral to another, we had phantom equity in the business, building courses like a painting course, fitness course with Jennifer Lopez's personal trainer, etc., etc. And we just got more and more clients for the email stuff. We were delivering what we promised. We got good results. Kept on getting more and more referrals. Went to networking events. Got to know a lot of good people in the industry, and yeah, kind of took it from there and built the agency kind of naturally, kind of luckily, I would say.
Luckily,
as well.
but again, naturally, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, there is definitely luck involved, 100%. Timing and luck.
Well, it depends what you mean by the word luck, because yes, if let's say
it doesn't just fall onto your lap,
exactly,
obviously.
yeah.
But I would say timing is a fair word. If you were the person who right now we're filming this on a digital camera, if you built a digital camera today, you don't have as much of a competitive edge against Canon and Nikon, Sony, etc., etc. But if you built a digital camera in 1970s when it was only film, you've got some sort of competitive advantage. That's what I mean by luck, kind of timing.
Yeah, but then again, it wasn't your first kind of business, right? So you mentioned it that at early age you always thought to yourself, hey, how can I make money? How can I make business? So it wasn't your first, second, third try. It's like you just continue to push yourself, and from one day just kind of, hey, this works.
Yeah,
let's go full on.
Yeah, it was kind of like 5 to 7 years until there was something consistent.
Then I wouldn't call it luck. I would just call finally.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It took some time.
You know what? Let's just drink again. I know the effect has wore off, but I will need you to
all right.
Just kind of
to feel it again.
Cheers to the not so tasty drink. What does it taste now? For me, it now tastes...
it tastes like garbage compared to what I tasted previously.
I think I would need to push myself to drink it sour, and you feel the kind of the celery.
Yeah.
All right, let's...
You wouldn't drink it for fun?
No, definitely not. I would need to kind of, I don't know, someone would need to kind of push me hard to do it. One second interesting fact about fennel is... Did you know that it supports heart and blood pressure?
Okay.
And fennel contains potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure, apologies. Simple explanation, potassium helps balance fluids in the body and supports healthy heart function. Real life example, if you're stressed, training hard, or drink coffee daily, supporting your heart long term becomes more important. And additional note from my side, of course, it's not something, all these kind of things that I say, right, or whatever, it's not that you will feel the instant effect, but if you drink it for years, right, for decades, then you'll start feel same with fitness as well,
Yeah.
It's not like you don't train for 6 months to have a six-pack, you train your whole life.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thinking here. Anyways, let's go to your journey again. And you mentioned that from an early age, like 16, 17, you were in the same community as other successful people. And of course, you were based in Latvia, and the community was based in what, like international Europe, worldwide?
International, yeah. Fitness and stuff.
Were you like always this kind of guy that held his, I don't know, feelings or whatever to yourself, and you thought, hey, here in Latvia, my friends at school or people, they do not maybe understand me, or what was the kind of the reason maybe why you joined the community instead of maybe building it with your school friends, for example, here in Latvia? If you understood what I mean.
No, I know what you mean. I would say there's nothing against my school friends or people from my school or people in Latvia in general. It's that just finding if you look at the amount of business owners you have, where people are able to take risk, or people who become quite skillful in a certain field, it's not a large volume of people, if you will. So you don't find many people who want to excel in a certain vertical, which is why quickly I went outside of Latvia. Generally speaking, yes, US, UK, other European countries, they are larger. They have gone through more years of capitalism than Latvia has, so they would have more experience too. So it's kind of a mix of those things. It's a mix of the fact that there's not many people who are driven and truly they're driven, not just say they want to do something, but actually back up their words with actions. And even if I was in a community here in Latvia and I was building something with people in Latvia, I wouldn't see a reason why not to join, or why not to learn from people abroad, especially right now with the internet. It's like YouTube was how I learned most of my skills. Same thing with Google. With communities as well, you can learn a lot from different people, and especially talk to people that grew up differently and have various experiences. Yeah, you become how do I say? You build skills in in multiple verticals, which makes you like a Swiss knife.
Yeah, a interesting question. From the very first day, you kind of are already thinking international, right? So it's like outside Latvia or whatever, UK, Asia, USA, whatever, right? Haven't you maybe thought to yourself, or maybe even someone told you, right, that hey, you need to kind of do what you do, but first achieve it here in your country, right? Here, let's say in the Baltics or in Latvia, before you kind of spread out. Why maybe for you wasn't the same thought back then? Why didn't you say to yourself, all right, let's make here a success before I go abroad? Why the very first day it was like, let's go abroad?
I don't see a reason for why you should localize it in the first place. It's gonna take you this. It's like if I want, like if my end goal is to go international, why not just go international? Like
Exactly.
what's the point? Why do you need to? It could be okay. Like you can make money and have success here. Yeah, that's fine. But it doesn't prevent you from starting internationally right away. You can still fulfill in Latvia. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, for example, it's like someone saying, I want to be an Olympic athlete in basketball, but I'll need to run fast. So I'll start in track and field, get like, I don't know, reach top athlete level, D1 athlete in the US in track and field, and only then I'm gonna go to basketball because I want to make it in the NBA. It makes no sense. It's kind of like similar here. If your end goal is to go international, go international.
Exactly.
If you see a gap in a market locally that you understand you can take advantage of and provide value to the market, go ahead and do that.
Exactly. It's like also tell for myself, and I also see some great examples that there are brands like for example, even like us, or like your brand, that from the first day they just go international, right? They like 5, 6 or whatever years they need to be successful there, and then like they say to themselves,
Well,
hey, maybe now we can do here locally.
yeah. Well, with the brand, it's like I think I kind of interpreted your question in a different way. It was more about, well, look, you can do it locally, you can do it internationally. For a brand, I would say it's a little bit different. For a brand, it's more about skills. If you're looking at general marketing skills, if you're able to do it well internationally, you'll be able to do it well locally. So when it comes to branding, I would say it's not. I wouldn't say market is like the unique thing that's gonna make your brand explode. It's still your marketing skills. Market is just kind of like a mechanism towards success. That's like the market where you see a lack of competition, a lack of problem solving, and you use that to kind of set yourself up for success. I wouldn't see that as like one one of the main keys. It's like an element towards.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like if you're a bad marketer and you go into a market
Doesn't matter where you.
yeah, if you're a bad marketer, if you go into a market that has low competition, it's going to be easier for you. If you're a great marketer and then you're still able to understand certain markets like Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, US, you'll be able to see how much you can dominate. But then it's a different level. Like I had a conversation with a guy last year that did 180 million in sales. For them, I asked him like, why do you only sell to the US? Why don't you go to Europe? You could have benefits X, Y, Z. He told me like, yes, I could, but generally for me, I understand the US market. We've cracked it. We do well, and Europe just has more taxes. Logistics are going to be
Regulations.
more challenging. But just from a marketing perspective, generally speaking, US is the best market to be in with e-com, with most of the products. You've got one language, large audience to sell to, people willing to buy, and like if you're able to crack US, be profitable in US, yeah, like you've done quite well, and you don't necessarily have to go to other markets to scale, because in the US alone, you can scale to 9 figures. In Europe you can too, but Europe is just going to be a lot more complex because of different languages and different cultures per language. And if you see how brands scale within Europe, they do it locally with kind of fragmenting the business.
Everything is localized.
Yeah, fragmenting the business locally. Yeah, which is going to be more challenging if you're starting out from scratch.
Back to your kind of your human journey. I would like I like imagine that of course you in your path, like first, second, third business, and you're now email marketing business. I imagine there were also some like ups and downs. So at what point or were there any struggles that you underwent through, and how did you overcome them? Or like one that stayed to your mind till now?
Yeah, it's quite a broad question. It depends. Like there's always struggles. It's just different ones. It's like when a client leaves, you're panicking. You're thinking that the business is going to be over. But then, like over time, you realize that you're still going to be able to get new clients. You know, at the moment when you think you can't get any new clients, you get like 5 referrals all at once, just because you do good work. Sometimes you look and you see finances going down, but then again, you're able to just hustle through again, acquire more clients and make it work, etc., etc. But I would say, like, yeah, some of the struggles. One of the first ones I remember walking around the street and thinking about. I've seen a lot of businesses scale to 100, 200K a month and then just plummet down to nothing, and I was afraid that would happen to us. But I realized it's just confidence in yourself. It's just the mentality, and the fact that you need to know that if you went to zero tomorrow, you could rebuild it all over again. And
it takes time to reach that kind of level of confidence, I think.
Yeah. It's also like a little bit of mix of imposter syndrome. I think I was dealing with that for a little bit. Yeah.
Well, I think you learn by doing it. Struggles. It like depends. So like it's not like one problem or the second problem.
Yeah,
they will come, they will go. Good days, bad days.
Yeah, again, it's like business cycles too. Like something I recognize also. I learned to recognize what business cycles are and how like
to maintain.
how like sometimes it's difficult for me to give advice to someone, especially like if I look back at me when I was like 2 years in business, even right now. I think like when you're in business for at least 10, 15 years, you've gone through at least like, you know, enough up and down. Like 10 years still early. I would say 20 years, and you're still in business. You've gone through enough up and down, good and bad cycles to where you can actually give proper advice. Because going from a cycle where everything is good, everything is easy scaling, and everyone's making money, you're looking at the world through rose-tinted glasses. Everything's amazing. And then when you see the first, like, you know, plop down, and you see like the trend still kind of going down in terms of client sales, in terms of acquisition costs going up. That's when you start to stress a lot, And if you've only had like one downturn market, you become quite stressed and you don't know how to deal with it. And you don't know what actions to take because profit margins go down. And in our case, we had a lot of competition pop up, etc., which did make things more challenging. But again, it's about figuring out what you need to do. What are the gaps you can fill in the market? How can you be unique? And then also a struggle for me was I went from working like fulfilling some of the client work and writing emails, then managing the team. How can you lead a team? It's still like a challenging question to answer. How can you lead a team? How can you motivate people? Ensure that they do good work, etc.
Yeah, and I think you don't also learn it in like one day.
Yeah. It's science through time and through a lot of thinking.
Like managing 50 people, or you said at one time you had 50, like managing 50 people.
It was more my business partner managing the 50 back then. I was mainly on acquisition, luckily.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
Poor Jacob.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the next topic, and that will be kind of interesting.
Okay.
There was one podcast of you, and I thought to myself as well, like, you help other businesses, other brands. You have this knowledge, like this experience, not only in email marketing, but you also worked with influencers, paid marketing, content. Obviously, you have I would even say a pretty strong personal brand as well, right? With like 15K, I don't know.
Yeah. I
maybe
checked yesterday, 14.6.
we need 400 more now. Have you ever thought to yourself like, hey, maybe I need to kind of create or kind of do my own project, my own product, for example, or service? Yes, you have your own, but in terms of product. And adding additional note, 8 months ago, like maybe even more, you mentioned that you were working on a product which you was about to launch like 1, 2, 3 weeks, and the product is called, you already know, beef tallow. Right. So I want to know what happened to the idea, because you said you had your first shipment coming up. So
I still have the first shipment at home, but the thing
maybe
is,
what it is.
So to answer your question, we've got the experience. We decided, yes, we want to do e-com. Originally, it was me, my business partner, and another one of our friends, Kristaps. We started working on the business. The issue was initially we hadn't separated each one of our responsibilities, so it was everybody doing everything, and it became quite chaotic. I would say that project was quite a failure. But again, I think I learned a lot from it. It was born around the time when I would say we were going through just like huge burnout from the business, because like with the agency we were doing the same thing. We knew what problems would come up when, how to deal with them. It was just like living on autopilot, and we didn't have a clear path to scale the business at one point, and we didn't know what to do next. And we were kind of tired of the agency life back then. So then we thought, okay, let's do e-com. Let's jump ship. We didn't properly systematize. We just started running ads, ran into issues here and there, overspent money when we shouldn't have, and that's why the project has been a failure up to right now. Last month we restructured the responsibilities of everybody. It's in between. Q4 was coming up, so obviously for Q4, full focus on agency, didn't focus on e-com. So that's like from August last year to December. Like e-com from my side, I was not putting any inch of effort in it. And right now it's my business partner who's leading it, because right now he's out of the agency. He still owns agency. He's just not actively working on a day-to-day basis. I'm taking over agency, and he's working
Jacob,
on e-com.
right?
Yes, Jacob. And I'm not working on e-com. I'm fully focused on the agency. That's how we decided to structure it. And I think also, like, if we had started this project, this is what I talk about, timing, right? I see a lot of times timing play a huge role in success. it's not just about your business being profitable or not, it's about how profitable your business can become.
Exactly.
If you get the correct timing, that's the difference between you building a brand that's 8 figures or maybe 7 figures, brand that's sustainable long term versus a brand that's short term. So that's why I do talk about the timing a lot. Like the agency, I would say for us is, I would call it an unkillable business. It's doing really good. We've got a great team, we've got a great service, and we're pushing to improve it further. The e-com is just something that we want to use the profits from the agency to invest into alongside with our skills to multiply our money further. That's how we look at it. But the beef tallow didn't work that well. Again, that was a partnership with a client of ours. We still work with the client. He's a friend of mine. He actually owns a YouTube channel, multiple YouTube channels. He does well with them. And yeah, it's a project that didn't end up going that much further. Even looking back at it right now, that white label of a product, it's challenging for me to justify running a project like that because you end up leaving a lot of upside on the table. Where like e-commerce, you can all own the full supply chain, take up the same amount of risk, and get more results from it. So that's a little bit of an update there. That's why I said like, yeah, that's why I do say there is obviously some luck involved, and I do say luck by like timing because we've got the skills, we've got the experience, we've got the capital. It's just like we haven't been able to make it successful yet, and there is a difference between running a service-based business versus e-com. It's different skills that you need to build as well, and over time it changes how you need to operate the business from like just purely a marketing brand to a lot more kind of like finance and operations focused business. So yeah.
Yeah.
Not all the stories have success, but again, it's like I'm not saying the story is over. I'm just being real. Like sometimes shit hits the fan. It doesn't work out how you expected it to. I'm not upset. We're not quitting. It's just something to reflect back on and just understand that. Like that's why I also talk about the ups and downs. When you're in business cycles, where you like especially after like a huge failure, you're going up, 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 up. At some point, you feel indestructible. You feel like everything you touch turns to gold, and you're like the man, right? As things start to slow down, like mentally, you start to question yourself. So mentally, it does become more challenging. It's kind of like I have gone through. That's why I also mentioned like the burnout, because there are times like when you're on the downtrend, it feels like no matter what you do, nothing is working. Right, but you need to realize, like, hey, where are we in the business cycle, and alleviate some pressure off yourself. It doesn't mean taking off the responsibility. It means like taking off the pressure and understanding why you are in the business cycle, why things are going so great, why things are not going great. But obviously, there's headwinds, tailwinds. It can switch as quickly as this. And I would say the e-com sector in general is doing better than it was like 2024 was 2024, 2025 was a lot more challenging, but now it's now across the entire industry people are a lot more profitable. It's because COVID took so much like profit out of the industry in general that you just paid up front, and over like a couple of next years you weren't as profitable as a business. So yeah.
Speaking of COVID, we one of the things that I do is I regularly go to the docs and introduce them this product, explain what it does, what kind of value it brings to the end consumer and whatever. And almost every doc is asking me this one question: where were you guys when COVID was? When all people, or like young people, elderly people, had problems with the taste, and like where were you guys? So for us, I think
that's what I mean. That's why I talk about timing.
Timing, yeah. For us, it would have been such an amazing time.
Well, that's what I talk about timing. If that doesn't matter about if you need to focus on what's now, but like a lot of times when you see businesses that have had a lot of luck, timing is involved, and timing means you can take market share. Timing means you can be profitable. You can reinvest maybe into a different product and grow and grow and grow. This would have been like a timing advantage that you use just to just to gain virality, because people are going to be talking about the taste, and word of mouth would roll
Exactly.
out super easily. Like as you're talking about doctors would recommend it. That would be the timing advantage. I mean, and you would
Great
be
example, by the way.
so much bigger, right? If you had the timing back then. Again, it doesn't mean that you have no clear path forward. It just means like where luck is involved, right? That's what I mean. Because there obviously is a question about whether you get lucky or whether it's all skill. I would say people who say it's all 100% skill are going to, like, I don't agree with them 100%, because it is a mix of luck, it is a mix of your skill, it is a mix of your network. Even like networking is a mix of like timing. If I go back to like our agency, there was a guy I met in like when I was in Bali on a family trip, and I went to a e-commerce meetup. I met a guy, and then just because no one else was doing email marketing, timing, he suggested us to so many people in the Netherlands specifically. And like we became partners and we got access to like super large e-com brand owners in the Netherlands, like for example, like in Amsterdam and etc. etc. And again, that's what I mean by timing. You could say it's skill because you were networking. You could say it's luck because you met the right person. It's a mix of all of those things.
Exactly, because if we talk like timing, luck, how it technically happens, in my opinion, the only way for it to happen is for you to actually do the physical thing, right?
Of course,
if you go to the network, it's a physical thing that you do,
exactly.
and the more you do it, the more compounding effect
just you were lucky enough to have the right person be there, but you had the skill to introduce yourself and have a conversation with them.
Exactly. Let's drink. Oh, you already drunk?
Just water.
Now there's vodka in it. Yeah, I promised you. Cheers. Let's talk about the next ingredient here. It's lemon. Oh, it's hard to drink. It's hard to drink.
Yeah, that's why I switched to water.
Anyways, interesting fact about lemon. It supports iron absorption and immune support. Lemon, as I think everyone knows already, is high in with vitamin C, which supports the immune system. Simple explanation, it helps your body defend itself and also improve iron absorption from plant foods. Real life example, if someone is vegetarian, for example, adding, or just a normal guy, adding lemon helps the body absorb iron better from foods like spinach and whatever, you know. But for a normal person, even for me, drinking it or even eating lemon is, in my opinion, impossible.
I do like it. I do like.
You do like. You're the guy who likes sour tastes as well. That is actually rare. That is actually rare.
I like it.
Amazing. All right. You are very well experienced in e-commerce. Also in branding, building brand, or whatever. If we take, for example, our brand. Santom Nutrition, you got to know us a little bit now.
Yes.
What would you say? How would you position Santom?
So like the positioning by itself, a lot of positioning and a lot of marketing by itself is trial and error. It's building a hypothesis and trying to prove yourself wrong and proving yourself right as well at the same time, figuring out why you could be wrong, why you could be right. But I would say like the biggest issue is like if I look at the product name, TasteCare. Product name is not the most important thing, but when I look at anything related to the packaging, TasteCare, food supplement with DMB made from dried.
Don't even try to pronounce it. Syncepal and dulcificum fruits. Yeah. Well, it's a food supplement. There is stuff that we need to put into it.
No. I understand. It's just like I don't know what this is. I don't know what is this for, right? Like, okay, cool. I don't taste lemon. Tastes sweet. Cool. You know, that's about it. I don't see the benefit in it. That's the issue. The question is not just why should someone buy your product. It's why should someone buy your product right now? Why should they buy it right now? And the better you can understand that question, the better you will be able to sell. And when I looked at the site, when I looked at the landing page, the product images, I didn't get a clear answer. And is that to lose weight? And it could be lose weight because you won't crave anything sweet anymore. Like all the foods you thought were disgusting are going to taste great. Everything you would want to eat, everything your brain says you have to eat, everything that's healthy is now going to taste like cotton candy. It's like what you mentioned, right? You mentioned something that I think is great mindset for people to have in life. When you look at training, it's not just something where you train for 6 months to get a six pack, or you eat healthy, not for a certain amount of time to, I don't know, lower blood pressure and then it goes back up. Unfortunately, it's quite a small amount of people who think that way. Most of the people, and this was like what Alex Becker mentioned, and I like this a lot when it comes to sales. People want a push button solution. Nobody wants, like when it comes to weightlifting, nobody wants a training course that where you have to work out every single day to get a six pack. People want to press a button and get a six pack.
Exactly.
That's kind of what your product needs to do.
What I have personally noticed as well, from also the buying experience to explaining end consumer what it is, so he buys now, right? Like you said, is that the less we kind of go into the mechanism itself, because if you explain like, hey, your taste buds will taste sweet food, lemon becomes sweet, and then like asking the question, hey, okay, what now? Like you said to yourself, okay, right, what do I do now?
No,
and then you kind of go to the solution, the kind of the ideal scenario where we noticed if we say to a end consumer and bring kind of the message, change the way, like you said, the healthy stuff that just tastes awful becomes good, sweet, in that way you just consume healthy foods that you need. Of course, it's going to be more difficult with people who don't eat already healthy foods because they're like, hey, but then again, you just offer a healthy alternative.
So like what you mentioned, so what you said was the less you go into the mechanism, the better your sales are?
I would say yeah.
That's what I think is a copywriting issue. Because I would say if I go to the website, in the first 5 seconds I should know what the product is for. That's what I didn't know. I needed to read around. It took me like a minute to figure out what it was.
Very good point.
That's what I mean when you understand the solution, what the desired accomplishes. The mechanism by itself, it's what makes you stand out against other products or other competitors in the market. If this is a product to help people lose weight, how does this compare to the keto diet? How does this compare to, if it's your macros diet, how does this compare to the David bar, for example? Because it's not direct competition, but it still is your competition. That's what the mechanism is for. It's to show how your product is unique and why people should buy your product specifically. The mechanism, for example, can be the taste. The mechanism can be the manufacturing process. Like for example, there's a famous example, Schlitz beer. It's an ad campaign. I don't remember from which year specifically, but I think like anywhere from like 1930 to 1960. It was a beer that was sold like it was a top 10 in America, and they went to like top 2 or top 3 with just an ad campaign talking about how their beer is filtered. Everybody was filtering their beer. It's that they're just saying they're filtering their beer. That they made it into a mechanism. They made the filtration into a mechanism that made their beer feel more feel pure, feel clean, so people wanted to consume it. That's the same thing here. When it comes to the mechanism, there was a piece of copy I really liked that I wrote talking about basically there's a product which is earbuds for sleeping, so they cancel out the noise, etc., etc. I wrote an email with the hook or the lead of the email talking about how if you ever use the elbow to nudge your boyfriend while he's asleep so he can stop from snoring, you're not alone. And then I go into the different the pains you would get from having disrupted sleep. having disrupted sleep at night, how you feel, how the next morning you're not as sharp. And the mechanism then later is comparing those sleeping earbuds to other solutions they might have. A solution could be sleeping in different bedrooms. That's a solution, but you're not gonna feel, close to your boyfriend anymore. The solution could be, I don't know, like a mouth tape, but your boyfriend doesn't like that, or maybe like every time he rips it in the morning, he feels pain in like his beard. It's like a Brazilian wax. So like so then like those earbuds themselves, they become the mechanisms. They cancel out the noise. They've got the noise cancellation. They've got a flat design, so you can sleep on your back and your sides. Da 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 da. So that's what kind of sells your product, your hook and the promise. Because like there's difference between selling people who are problem aware, problem unaware, solution aware, solution unaware. It's different how you would sell to each one of those people.
Of course.
So it could be, for example, writing an advertorial, talking about a case study. Like you've probably seen those like scammy ads of like doctors hate this, hate the secret. Even stuff like that. It still works, and it works towards the problem unaware audiences. It works towards those audiences where it might be like, for example, the Ozempic's biggest rival, right? It talks about, and then, for example, through that like sales page, obviously on meta ads, you can't mention Ozempic. You can call it the pen, right? Or maybe try the O pen, which people would kind of figure out to go and kind of sneak through the terms and conditions. But you can write a sales page talking about like, hey, talking about the fact how Ozempic works and kind of talking about the issues, for example, Ozempic might bring, and then position this as just like a pill you take, and all the foods are healthy. Again, like you position it as a push button solution. You literally take a pill, chew it, it tastes like candy, and all of a sudden, all the tasty food that you previously hated is going to taste like candy. It's going to taste like XYZ, and then you're not gonna feel like the side effects of Ozempic, but you still feel the benefits. And on top of that, you can talk about different vitamins you'll get and how it improves longevity, and you build the whole entire sales argument
Exactly.
to teach people who are not aware of even the problem.
Yeah, I would even say if you like, of course, every brand should do it, but if a brand feels confident enough, they should call out, like you said the example before, Ozempic, right? They should call them out.
It's not necessarily should or shouldn't. It's just like the angle you can take in marketing.
Yeah, it's not us versus them, but more confidently, more aggressively.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the angles. It's the us versus them.
It's pretty good as well.
Yeah, I mean, because you're gonna have people who are healthy, and who just want to, and maybe like you talk about other supplements. How yes, you're taking iron supplements, but you could just be eating food, and yeah, it could be also talking about how you're fat because you're not full, and the reason you're not full is because you're eating these super calorie dense foods, when in reality you're meant to eat more salads. Obviously they don't taste good, or you bring up some of the issues with this, and these salads going to taste like XYZ.
Very good point. Now that we touched a little bit to the healthy stuff, let's go to the next ingredient. It's also the last, celery. By the way, did you know that celery contains, 95% of water?
That I didn't know.
Yeah, well, anyways. Interesting fact about celery, for everyone who's also watching. Celery contains natural compounds that help relax blood vessels. And it's called, I don't think I can even pronounce it, BH-tachlides, or whatever it means. Simple explanation anyways, when blood vessels relax, as we all know, blood flows easier, and that helps to keep the blood pressure balanced. Real life example, I think even for me in today's high stress lifestyle, supporting blood pressure through small daily habits matters more than people think.
Yeah.
It's and also adding up to kind of that we also try to not position our product, right, our flagship product as the product itself, because the product itself doesn't solve anything, right? If you let the tablet dissolve in your tongue and you do nothing for 30 minutes, nothing will also happen. So I always like to say it's a instrument, a nutritional tool that you use into your diet, into your foods or whatever.
Yeah, but this messaging is only talking to people who are already aware of the issues.
Of course.
It's because like there's a quote: scaling a business is when you sell to people who don't want to buy. You know, because if like everybody who understands the issue, who's aware of like how to eat healthy foods and make them taste like candy, they probably have a brand they already know and they you know buy this product from, or maybe they buy from you. Well, then the larger market and the tricky part is understanding how to expand this, because it's easy just to go after people who are already aware of the issue and so on and so forth. But it's more challenging to get new people to buy your product, and that's when you can actually scale. That's when you can build brand loyalty. That's when you can acquire the customers and make more money. And that's how you should be. That's difference I mentioned in, for example, acquiring customers with paid ads and that skill and email marketing. Because with email marketing, those people would already be aware of some of the issues, but in paid ads, they're not. So you need to figure out how to get them to buy in the first place.
Yeah, like I like the part where you said business is where you sell to the people who don't want your product, who don't know or who don't know the problem. Like
I would say I'd like to say don't want. It's not because you're trying to shove something useless down their throats, but you never want anything unless you figure out why. Like your grandmother might not want an iPhone, right? But if you're Apple, you figure out how to sell to her, you'll make more money, and that's how you can scale. Because younger people are buying phones, they want an iPhone, but okay, we can make more money if we sell to the elderly. Okay, how can we do it? Again, it's like that you sell to people who don't want to buy, because inherently they don't want, like your grandmother should be fine with just like with a phone with buttons, but then all of a sudden she can watch her show from
that's the interesting
phone.
part,
Yeah, because that's how you scale, right? Because inherently people don't necessarily want to buy anything.
Yeah.
Like to survive and to live, you really don't need that much. You know what I mean? It's just like you buy a lot. Most of the stuff you buy is stuff you don't necessarily need.
Yeah, most of that. Yeah. Very good point, Reinis.
Yeah,
Very good point. I think that comes only with experience.
Yeah, it's something I stole from Alex Becker. Because I think it's mindset that makes a lot of sense especially when you're trying to scale and when you're thinking about how can I reach the new audience. Because if you're only talking to people who are already again aware of the issue, it's only it's a limited audience, right? And you're going to be able to scale if you're able to push it further outside of this immediate audience of people wanting to buy it or wanting to find a solution to a problem they know.
Yeah, let's go, as we are a nutritional brand, fitness and discipline. Do you go to the gym?
What do you think?
I would say yes, of course.
I'm asking because I go to the gym and you say I don't. It doesn't look good. I'm not working hard enough.
Well, I sure think that you do go to the gym.
Yeah.
I would say yes. Maybe that's also one of the things that I guess have the sort of thinking, if you are a business owner, entrepreneur, or whatever, I think that's just one thing that you can't live without, like drinking water. So
yeah.
Obviously, I would say that you do go to the gym.
Yeah. I do 3 times a week at the moment. I used to do boxing 2 times a week, gym 3 times. Now I'm just doing gym 3 times. I'm gonna restart boxing as well. My coach was just outside the country. Yeah.
And do you is it like you said, cardio, right? So like boxing,
cardio, and gym is just gym.
Heavy lifting, powerlifting, or is it
mix of both? Mix of both. Like usually, like the big 3 is towards powerlifting, and the rest accessories depends. I usually do work in the 6 to 8 rep range, but I like to explore beyond that too, just to build the working capacity.
Is there a reason why you go to the gym? Some go for looks, some go for I don't know, a lifestyle. What's your reason?
Looks, lifestyle, mental health are just something where I can just go and think of nothing. My brain just shuts off, and I just gym. And I like to lift and move heavy stuff. So I think it's nice. And ultimately, I have this vision of later being the cool uncle, like someone that like when my kids go to school, they're like, oh my God, like you inspire other kids
Exactly.
to become greater. That's what it comes to, because that's what my stepfather was to me. Of like, he inspired me to do something, and I want more kids to be inspired, and I want them to thrive. For example, be fit, be healthy when you're 40, make money, etc., etc.
Amazing, amazing. You just business. I assume diet as well, like what you eat, right? And then we talk about that in a bit
Diet
as
for
well.
me is like, if it fits your macros, just like counting. Like if I get enough protein in, I'm good. And if I'm not getting too fat too quickly, it's like when I'm losing weight, I'm counting calories. When I'm not, I'm not. Because like one of the challenges with eating healthy, and it's also another challenge for you to think about. Just like if you go to the store, Coke Zero's in the US especially, Coke Zero is cheaper than water. Coke literally is like $1 something,
Yeah.
and water is like $2-3 in the States. It's crazy, and it's the fact that, for example, you've got a product to make healthy stuff taste good. The issue is accessibility to healthy foods. If you go to the store, you can buy a carrot and just like eat it.
Yeah.
But most of the carrots, you need to clean them first, and it's just not so easy to consume the healthy foods as it is the unhealthy foods, like a Kinder Bueno. You just unwrap it and start shoving it down your throat.
And by the way, you already said one thing that was one of our biggest problems, is that with this product as well, we understood that overall people are so lazy, because if you imagine like that, the product itself, right? Okay, you have it, you buy it, but then what? Then you need to create a healthy drink. You need to go to the grocery store, you need to buy it, you need to come home, you need to wash it, clean it, cut it, blend it. It's a whole process. And one time, two times, maybe you do it, but what happens after the third time, right? You would say,
that's the issue with
just
most supplements.
it's just easier to buy a, I don't know, a Bueno, like you said, right? Or a Coke.
Yeah.
And for that reason, we are in the process to create and kind of offer this two-step solution, where we take out the problem and we offer like I said before, a two-step solution where you take one tablet, right? It will be in a carton box like that, and you suck it, and then you drink it, a made and ready drink already. So that is kind of a great solution for you to go to the office, to the gym, or whatever, and in that way we kind of solve the problem where, hey, now you don't need to even create it, right? And of course we create it organically with similar ingredients that are here in today. So good, actually that's a good thing that you already said it. It makes one person more who kind of feels this problem, maybe with the problem.
Yeah, no, it's just something like I see when I was younger, I see myself in you with for example this, and I would think to myself like, oh, it's just so easy, why are people so lazy, etc., etc. It just, the reality is people are not going to care enough to put effort into those things, and especially if people have grown up in a way where health is not important to them, it's not going to suddenly become important unless, like, again, that's what I mentioned, you get people to buy who don't want to buy. You show them why they have to and why they need to,
Exactly.
because a person that's like 350 pounds, who's 45 years old, their doctor might say, oh, you have heart problems right now, you might die soon. They might think about like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try to do something, but most of the people don't change the lifestyle. They don't change the behavior, unfortunately. So again, as I mentioned, people want to buy a push button solution. You push a button and you get the benefits.
Exactly. Great stuff. Great value. Let's go one question before my last question. Let's attach to the topic sugar. How do you deal with sugar? Or do you have problems with sugar? Or not at all? Because, of course, sugar, sugar consumption, for some it creates, I don't know, some skin problems, somehow. You do feel it, so yeah.
I wouldn't say I pay too much attention to it, just because there's already so many things I'm paying attention to in my life. I try not, so like my easy thing with sugar, the reason why I say don't pay attention to it, I'm not going to be reading every single thing I eat for how much sugar it has. I just don't buy sugary stuff at home for the most part. Like I would say the stuff that does consist out of sugar is probably going to be my protein bars and Smilt and Spiens packs. It's a protein drink that you buy in stores. They have the most amount of sugars, but generally speaking, I don't eat too much sugar, except if I've got candy at home and I can just rip through like an entire bar of chocolate like this. So it's just better for me not to have any sweets at home, and then I don't think about it.
Just forbid it, like you say to your family, to your girl, don't buy chocolate at home.
Yeah. No, it's just like the environment.
Exactly. All right, Reinis. What's kind of the one message from your life, from your experience so far? Even though you are, in my opinion, 24, I think you're still 25. Apologies, you're still young, right? So you have a lot of stuff to learn.
Yeah.
But what's the one message, the one value from your heart that you want to kind of bring to the world, show it, and say?
Depends to whom. I would say to younger people, read the book, How to Read the Book. It sounds stupid, but it's not about reading entirely. It's about how to consume content, how to learn. Schools don't teach you how to learn. If the one thing you became great at was learning, you can do anything because you can learn anything. You've got the system for it. Honestly, this would go for any age group, because you're one skill away from the desired outcome you want to achieve. If you want to make a lot of money, you need to learn how to make money. If you want to be healthy, you need to learn how to be healthy. So it's just about skills.
Creating skills. Yeah. So for everyone who is starting, or doesn't matter, is in the process already, it's like the thing that you need.
Yeah, because like a lot like, you suck at leadership. Well, you need to learn how to be a leader. You suck at marketing. You need to learn like everything's about learning.
Exactly.
So you suck at hiring people. You need to learn how to hire. If you just become great at learning and understanding problems, you'll be good. So
just learn.
Yeah, learn how to learn.
Learn how to learn. Very good point. All right, Reinis. Now, at the very end, let's go some cheeky questions that I always like to ask. Favorite thing to do in your free time? Take out business, take out gym. What is your favorite thing to do in your free time?
Now, play Counter-Strike.
Amazing. Amazing.
It's it was a game I played as a kid, and I got back into it, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, outside of gym, outside of like spending time at home, it's a new hobby I partook in. I replaced racing simulator with that for now.
Amazing. Well, I did play it as well, Counter-Strike. I had maybe 900 hours.
Yeah.
So not good, but some little experience. Anyways, favorite country to visit or even live one day? Now, if you had to...
In the summer or winter?
It doesn't matter.
That's tough. This is a tough question. To live in, I would still say Latvia. Oh. I've thought about other countries to move. I still think Latvia is overall a great place to be at. I can do I think I came up with a question myself. It's like fuck, marry, kill, country to country list. kind of like you know, visiting, living in, and never going back again in a way. Well, to visit periodically, Dubai is good, but it's again like for me periodically, I wouldn't want to stay there for more than 2 months. Living, I do like Europe. Living, potentially Monaco because of taxes, and you're near south of France. Yeah, and then visiting. I'll do Austria, even though I haven't been there.
Austria.
I haven't been there too many times. It's because I'm thinking about in the winter. I would want to go to Austria to ski. Austria or Alps or even Finland. Finland's underrated for skiing.
Yeah. Italy as well. Swiss.
Italy. Well, it's the Alps, right?
Alps, at the end of the
I would
day,
say
Alps,
Sweden and Finland are underrated for skiing.
Amazing. Favorite restaurant to go here in Latvia? Do you have a favorite?
Damn, I have to gatekeep that.
Yeah.
No,
One of the favorites.
A lot.
A lot of.
Yeah,
Amazing.
by far, great.
Amazing. Well, first of all, Reinis, thank you very much for coming. It was a great. Cheers, by the way.
We have to finish this one. I'll check
Let's-
it out.
Oh, for me, it tastes too healthy. Anyways,
That's why I took the second pill.
good decision. Thank you very much for joining us. I think it was a lot of value, especially to me even. Great stuff that I learned, and also I think for you, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you very much, and this
Glad
will
to
be
be here.
now for the next 70 years at least.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.